We got some fun stuff down in the Villages, Florida here today to talk about. Is there possibly a new bridge or tunnel going in? That's I kind of got that question for you guys. And somebody actually told me what I was supposed to do with my channel. We've got some crazy drivers on that dash cam I got going around the roundabouts. And, how come I haven't been reporting on any of the weather lately? And some more. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson down here in the Villages, Florida at 55 and over retirement community. And today we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But first, that thing I gotta do, thank you so much for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate it. It's easy to do. Use the QR code around here a lot. Also, if you want to get in touch with me for those house tours, just grab the Facebook link and message me on my Facebook page and I will get back to you. You can also do it in the comments. Some people have done it that way. I'm the only one that sees the comments. And in fact, this group of subjects that we're going to cover right now, which are kind of fun, a little different. I really want to hear your comments on these because a couple of them, I'm not sure what to make of them. So I really appreciate it. And I don't have a whole lot much to talk about except let's go ahead and jump onto the first one. Having one of these YouTube channels sometimes gets a little frustrating because I want to answer people's comments and stuff like that, but I just don't have time to get in arguments. But I like to reply to some of them, or actually I like to reply to all of them if I can, but some of them I just don't have time. Other ones I just throw out because they're just not making any sense. And it's people venting. I don't know what their problem was that day, but anyway, this is one that I got regarding one of these home tours. Now, I've never done these before, so I'm slowly getting better at them. But generally, the people that I've done it with, we kind of have fun. They learn from me, I learn from them, that type of thing. But I get comments from people. And sometimes there's just people that to me, just come unhinged for no reason. We're going to run through this one just because it was one I would normally throw out, but I just picked it up because you'll see in a second, this person told me what I should do with my channel. Now, is my channel, and that's not going to happen. So here's the reference clip that this regards, and we're going to come back on, walk it back, and investigate this comment. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the master.
Okay.
I still call it the master, and I will probably do it until the day I die. So I'm sorry, I'm just not politically correct. That's the way it is. Oh, this is nice. Good, nice
The
looking
tray
ceiling
yes,
here.
we like that.
And that's a little different than the other one. I'm going to read this comment in its entirety, but remember the tone of my voice. I'm kind of laughing at myself and joking, and actually, in reality, apologizing to anybody that I may have offended. And you got to remember when we do these things, we have a good time while we're walking around. But anyway, Rose immediately fires off. And remembering when you text or write something and you capitalize it, that means you're screaming. And so I think Rose got a little wound up over this one. Really, you said master because I'm not political. Go back and look at it, Rose. That's not what I said. Just pointing that out makes it political. Screaming at me. In 2020, due to the historical, gendered, and perceived racial undertones of the word master, real estate and architectural industries widely adopted the term primary bedroom or owner suite. It was not a political party or wokeness that changed it. Therefore, there is no requirement via national or state law making anyone use primary or owner suite. Leave politics out of your tours. Okay, so we're going to walk this back a little bit, and I'm going to start at the ending. Don't tell me what to do with my channel, Rose, because I'm not going to listen to you. I don't care. If you don't like it, go get your own channel, right? And especially if you're yelling at me, because really what I did was I did not say master because I'm not political. I said I'm sorry. I'm just not always politically correct, is exactly what I said in a joking manner. Okay. I never said there was a state or national law, but I'll tell you what I did do. I went back and I started researching this because I said, that's really fascinating. How in the world did this actually come about? I mean, if it's not political, we'll just assume Rose is correct. And it's not political at all. In other words, a lot of the other things where they become political, where most of us walk around with our head on our shoulders and go, I don't care. I just don't care. Right? Usually it's something political behind it or a woke group or something like that, correct? So I decided to look it up. And I did some research on some papers and stuff like that. And then I went back to cap it all off because a lot of the papers agreed on the historical background to this change. I decided to go back and ask her, I'm going to use her as the AI in that, and have a conversation and find out whether she agreed to it. And I went back and retaped the answer. So I'm going to splice that together and kind of give you pretty much the full answer in the conversation I had with her. So this is AI's explanation of it, and we'll jump in when need to and recap at the end. And we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Rose is right and I made a big boo-boo and should be yelled at. Here we go. What I did was is I had the conversation while I was doing that research off and on. So I went back to her and I said, hey, you remember the conversation we had? Can you give me some notes back on that? And this is what she said.
Yep, we just chatted about that. The term master bedroom originated in the 1920s through Sears catalogs to market parents. The term master bedroom actually started in the 1920s through Sears catalogs, and it was used to distinguish the parents' room from the children's rooms in the house. But it's been shifting to primary bedroom recently, especially after 2020 when the Black Lives Matter movement influenced some realtors to make the change. Black Lives Matter was the primary catalyst in Houston prompting the switch. The Houston Association of Realtors announced the change in 2020, citing the heightened awareness of racial equity sparked by BLM protests.
There you go. So Black Lives Matter, I kind of think they're a political group, maybe. But let's see. Then I asked, well, how widely is it? Everybody use that?
Yep, the term master bedroom is still in use, especially in many traditional markets and older listings across the U.S. While the industry is shifting, many regions, particularly in the Midwest, continue to list it as master bedroom.
And then just to kind of clarify things, I thought I better go ask her, is BLM a political group?
Yes, Black Lives Matter is considered a political and social movement that advocates for racial justice and policy reform.
Now, you've heard me say many a times here, throw beach balls over the fence and don't throw knives, because I'll tell you what, if you are going to do a political channel, it doesn't do any good to stab the person on the other side. You want to bring them over to your side. So what I'm going to say is that Rose said it is not a political party or wokeness that changed it. I believe the fact that even though some papers I read, and she said, her AI end of it said that Black Lives Matter put the screws to the Houston real estate industry to change it from something that was never meant to be racial. It was always meant to be created in a Sears catalog of all things to show the difference between the kid's bedroom and the parents' bedroom. And Black Lives Matter put the screws to it. So then I asked if, just to recap, is this still used a lot in the country? The answer was yes, although it's changing. I understand that. And then I said, just to make sure that we were all squared away, is Black Lives Matter a political group? And it said, yes, it is. And it even kind of alluded to the fact, I believe, that it's kind of a wokeness kind of thing. But I'm just showing you what AI said on the internet. And Rose, I think you got it all wrong. I could be wrong. Hey, you guys in the comments, let me know what you think. Be nice. There's no reason to get upset and start screaming like in caps or anything. Best thing to do is just explain it, because once people realize maybe how it really is or how you think it is, then maybe they'll shift their beliefs. Anyway, that's it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear. On to the next subject. And this is kind of a cool one. Right now, while I'm recording this, which is on Tuesday, there's a lot of weather going on down in the Gulf right now. In fact, it's affecting, I have a friend coming in from Philadelphia and their flight got all messed up. So that's kind of goofy. But anyway, some people ask me, well, how come you didn't report on that weather? Because people know that if something's coming in like a hurricane and stuff, I'll usually go out and broadcast live from my car. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get that information, and you'll also get the information after the storm. I go out and show you live a lot of times from my car, the damage and that type of thing. But also make sure you're connected with the local meteorologist, because they got all the local information and how stuff's going to affect you. But if we have something that affects us a little closer, I will make sure that I do that. Also, check this out. This is video I got of a little while ago. I got a dash cam in my car, and I keep forgetting that I have it. But this time, I was going off to play tennis, and some people, I mean, just in like a short period of time, I got to show you these shots out of the dash cam of some people driving, and you'll see how hazardous sometimes this gets. This is all within like a few tenths of a mile. Here we go. I'll narrate over and around it. Check it out. Now I'm looking at the green sign up in the right-hand corner. If I'm in the left lane, I can go straight or go all the way around. If I'm in the right-hand lane, I can make a right-hand turn or go straight. Right away, I notice the guy in the red Tahoe. He's in the left lane, the inner circle. Right? I watch him. Now all of a sudden he's crossing the solid line going into the right-hand side of the circle. And now by the time I get around back here, he's out ahead of me. So I keep going. And now he crosses right in front of me from the outside lane, cuts to the inside lane right ahead of me. Now you got to remember, these are wide angle lenses, so they appear further than what they should. Now we continue on down. He goes into the right lane without a turn signal. So right now I'm thinking, I better watch this guy. Next little segment right here. Here we go. Here's the red guy again. I pass him. He's not pass him, but he's sitting right on my right-hand side. If we go back and look, there's the sign again. You can only go straight from the middle lane. You can only make a right-hand turn from the right-hand lane. I look ahead of me, and all of a sudden I notice this guy's in the left lane and has his turn signal on. Right there. The guy in the red is just to my right off of my bumper. This guy goes and cuts right in front of him. He's just to my right there. If this guy had been a few ahead of me, he would have plowed right into the side of him, the red van. So continuing on, we end up going down here, and right here we have this guy outside lane, crosses over at one point to the inside lane to make a right-hand turn back out to the right-hand lane. Not quite sure what that was all about. Continuing on, here we go, on to the next one. All right, so here I am with this person right here. This is literally the next circle or two circles down, roundabouts, whatever you want to call them. I look at this person ahead of me and I'm going, okay, they're going to go straight or make a right-hand turn. All of a sudden, they stop right in the middle of the roundabout. Come to a complete stop. I have no idea what they were stopping for, but that was it. And I think that was kind of like the end of my day right there. I guess my takeaway from this is, and you really got to watch what you're doing around those roundabouts, especially if you're new to the area. You just got to keep track of these people and stop making right-hand turns from the inside lane. You're not supposed to be doing it. You're going to get T-boned sometime. Just because the dotted lines turn right? That doesn't mean you have the right to turn. A lot of times those dotted lines are for people that have come all the way from the other side of the roundabout. They have nothing to do with you. If you're crossing a dotted line, it's the same as passing or going through a passing lane on a straightaway. You have to yield to the other people. So yeah, just keep your head up, and on a swivel, looking around. Man, I got everything beeping at me and stuff with storms and stuff like that. All right, on to the next thing. All right, here we go. Now, just stick with me on this one. This is the village's website, which is great for all you people that keep asking me about prices and stuff like that on the tours, because the homeowners don't want to give it to. This is the website I'm sending you to. All you got to do is it's so easy to use. You can get like this. You can get all the prices of homes you want, but that's not what this is about. I want you to take a look at this whole area. Is the villages from the top up here, top of the green, all the way down to the bottom. This is the new area of the villages down the bottom. And what we're going to be looking at here in a second is just this area below the turnpike and right over here. So Leesburg is off to the right where it says 470 and 23 right up in this area, and or up in where 44 is up there. Okahumpka, and then you drive down, and in the bottom left all the way down here, believe it or not, is all the way down at Bushnell. Now, kind of follow along with me here. I'm going to use Photoshop, if you can believe this, and we're going to take a look at Photoshop, and this is that same bottom part of the villages, and right in just about dead center is the whole new area, Eastport. You see how small that is? This whole new area, if you take this, it's hard to believe, is almost the size of everything on the north side of the turnpike. But where we really look is, I have been saying for a long time that I think there's a place on here where they're going to put another tunnel or overpass. Now, I want you to look at this so you understand what I'm talking about. Right here where they're bringing 470 across, and I know Don Wiley on Gold Wingnut has talked about this. I'm not sure where he's at on this, but I really want to get you guys to comment on this because I really don't know. It's just something I've been thinking for a long time. To give you an update, I took this video the other day, and this is actually driving across 470 across the turnpike. So here's a big sign. Now, if you look, here's the big sign to the villages. Over to the right are all the villages' homes. And if you look along here, there is a sidewalk that pops up right here. You can see it all the way to the right. Now, I know a ton of people have said there's no tunnel, there's no overpass going across this. But on the other side of this, it loops around to the right and goes onto the turnpike underneath this. If there's no tunnel or there's no overpass, how does this sidewalk escape from this area? It's got to either go under or around, and probably Don, knowing him, he's probably already got video of it. But what I want to take a look at is I'm going to highlight this for a second, right? So now we see, this is the outline of the villages. And as you can see right here, where it says Megason Road and 470 right here, that's where we just saw that video going across. But for a long time, I've been saying that down here on this red line in the bottom right-hand corner, I believe that they're going to put an underpass for the village's property. I could be totally wrong. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it, but I'm going to show you something else here. This is the satellite shot, right? You can see how this spreads around. Bushnell is just off the bottom left corner here. Leesburg, this is Okahumpka, and Leesburg is just off the upper right-hand corner, how massive this is. I want to show you, I went down and took a ride and did a video right where this 48 comes off of here. And that's what I'm going to show you here. Take a look at this. I am actually sorry about the editing, but it's just not. This is the overpass of that road that was all the way out on the edge. And you'd see how much room there is underneath this. I mean, this could turn into a big artery the way this is laid out. But here's the fascinating thing. If you look, this pops out on the opposite side right over here. There's a whole area over here where you could put an underpass in. And the weird thing is if you look at, and I'll try to throw a copy of it up here. If you show, if you look at the village's map, they actually own a slice of this going under this underpass. Anyway, hang on a second. I'll come back on here. I am by no means, make this perfectly clear, I am by no means saying that that's what's going to happen. I just, from a long time ago, I kept thinking, I go, man, if they're going to expand out towards the Orlando area, Claremont towards that area, this kind of starts to make sense a little bit. But anyway, what I really want to do is I want to hear some other people's opinions, what they think or what they've heard, anything like that. And once again, I am not saying that this is going to happen. It's just something a few years ago, I started wondering if that was going to come into play, and the pieces kind of seem to add up, but who knows? Anyway, on to the next thing. That's enough of that. That's going to be about it. I really want to thank you guys for dropping in, and make sure you subscribe and like. Also, if you want to do some of these house tours, they're really great. A lot of you guys are giving some good information. I'm slowly getting better at them. The poor last one I had up there, I forgot to put the shelving and the whole pantry in there. That was totally my bad. Really bad directing. I would have been fired. And yeah, so thanks a lot for subscribing, liking, and all that. And I'll either see you back here on YouTube or I'll see you down in the villages. Thanks a lot and have a wonderful day.